guys, I'm Haley and I am here in Gilbert, Arizona. I would like to think one of the most awesome towns in all of America. And it's kind of funny, I never thought that I actually would be here still, but I moved here from the East Coast 6 years ago, stumbled upon this amazing town, and here we are 6 years later, loving it, getting to explore it every single day, and it still surprises me. And I am going to walk you through exactly why I fell in love with this town and why I still continue to fall in love with this town in my day-to-day life living here in Gilbert, Arizona. Well, first off, of course, I'm here at Agritopia, one of the communities that made me fall in love with Gilbert immediately. As I mentioned, I am from the East Coast, so that charm, the trees, the grass, just all of the rural areas that are around, the farms, that is what I'm used to. And we have that right here in Gilbert, Arizona. And you can see some of the farms behind me. This was all farmland. Gilbert was all farmland prior to it being developed to what you see today, but they still kept so many amazing aspects that keep that small town charm that Gilbert used to be and still is. And so I just love walking around here. You see the white picket fences. Behind me is the community garden too. You don't have to be a resident in Agritopia to have a garden here. It just is a community garden where people can come, spend time together, grow whatever they want. People grow flowers, fresh veggies, and fruits here. It's just such a lovely place that honestly is super unexpected when you move to the desert. When I moved here, I definitely thought that it was going to be brown and just dirt, but it's definitely not the case as I'm walking through Agritopia, and you can see it's definitely proven that wrong. And there's just so much more charm here to this town that I'm super excited to show you. One of the things I love the most about Gilbert is the small town feel, including the family history here in Gilbert. And Joe's Farm Grill is one of the most iconic restaurants in Gilbert, and it's owned by the Johnson family. This was actually their house back in the day, and now it is a restaurant staple here in Gilbert, serving amazing American food. And a lot of the veggies are actually sourced from the farm right across the street. So another reason why Gilbert is just so special. There are so many ties throughout the community here that bring back to the local feel here, and that's very hard to find. And let's talk about another local staple, the coffee shop. Absolutely. And I love that there are so many local businesses here that you're able to enjoy, come and meet friends. And I can't tell you how many times I've run into people at restaurants, local coffee shops, the grocery store. Again, that small town feel and just the local little places that people go and meet up, it just adds again to the charm that I love about Gilbert just so much. When I first thought about Arizona, I really just thought brown desert look, but Agritopia brought just such a light to Arizona that I never knew existed. And every single home within this community has really captured the unique individuality that the developer really wanted. And this community started in the early 2000s, and now being 2025, the homeowners have really taken it and just ran with it. And everyone has done something so different and so unique that each home looks like it is a custom home. People have done amazing color palettes, and even just like the front porches. Front porches are huge in Agritopia. They've done really cool like framework and stonework, just bringing such a, again, unique charmness. I say that word over and over and over again, but it's so true here in Gilbert that honestly, you can't really find anywhere else in the valley, which is why I personally have fell in love with this town, and why so many others, once they discover it, fall in love with it too. Another one of my favorite areas in Gilbert, Morrison Ranch, known for its grassy landscape. Again, so different than what you think of when you think of the Arizona, the desert. And this is a reason right here why I fell in love with Gilbert. The second I drove through Gilbert and saw Morrison Ranch, I was like, this is it. So much real grass, This all used to be farmland. These silos used to be active when there was farmland, and now it is a huge community with tons of different builders inside, and every home has its own like unique vision for what the developer wanted. They really wanted to keep those farm roots, and so when you see the architecture of the designs that the builders had to choose from, they all really fit into such a like charm of what Gilbert and Morrison Ranch was back in the day, which was farmland by the Morrison family. So it is a really cool place to be. It is super community focused. One of the things I love too about Morrison Ranch is its community aspect. There are so many community events that are held here, and just so many people out all the time, walking, riding bikes, playing in the parks. There are tons of parks here in Morrison Ranch. There are tennis courts, pickleball courts, volleyball courts, basketball courts, and then of course a ton of playgrounds. So super duper community focused, which again falls into that small town feel that Gilbert has that y'all already know I love so much. And for those of you new here, and for you and for those of you new And for those of you new here, hi, I'm Haley. I'm a two-time Olympian turned Gilbert real estate agent, but most importantly, I'm literally just a girl in love with the town that I fell in love with when I moved here 6 years ago. And I'm so excited to be able to show you around, show you my everyday life here. It is such a special place, so I'm excited to take you around to all my favorite spots, neighborhoods, restaurants, bakeries, coffee shops, shopping, all the things. So make sure to subscribe to follow along here in my everyday life in Gilbert, Arizona.